Welcome again to Rehab Time with Jadel. Everyone wants loving relationships, but unfortunately, it's also our number one stress. So let's discuss. Let's know how we can thrive better in relationships. You can send me your questions, send me your suggestion. What do you want me to talk about in my next video, and I'll do it. You can follow me on all my social media platforms. The links are below here in this video, and then we'll have a nice time. So today we're going to be talking of something that relationships are suffering much from. People in relationships are happy, but for just one thing, and it's sex. So let's discuss. All right. So I said relationships are happy, but for one thing, sex, especially godly relationships or relationships among people that fear God, they have one issue with sex. Everything it seems perfect in the relationship, but then this sex issue has been lingering for so long, and people do not necessarily even know why they should abstain from sex. Like, why should I stay from sex before marriage? In church they tell us, okay, because it's a sin. That's the big thing. Some people make it look like as if sex is dirty. Some people say if you have sex with a guy, he's not going to get married to you. But hey, obviously you've seen one of your auntie that got married, that was staying with one of her boyfriend, and they got married and then they're happy. So you can't really say why we should abstain from sex. Also, some people said before that if you are having sex, STDs, or maybe getting pregnant, but people have found a way around that thing, and so it's not a reason for people to stay away from sex. And my video today is just to tell you that you are staying away from sex because God said so. Simple. You're staying away from sex because of God. You're staying away from sex because you love God and you want to abstain from sex. Now, let me tell you some of the reasons why you should really stay away from sex before marriage. Now, the first one is that sex before marriage is what the devil uses to alter what God has originally created. Now, First Corinthians verse 6, First Corinthians 6 verse 13, make us to know that food is intended for the body, but of course God will destroy both the body and then the food. But our bodies is not intended for sex. So the devil knows that God made our bodies to glorify him. So if he can just alter it, then we don't do what God wants us to do. Now, take for example water. Water, it's if you see a flood scenery, look at these two pictures now. Picture these two pictures. You see flood, and then you see water in a reservoir. Now we take that flood to be sex before marriage, and then the water in a reservoir to be sex after marriage. Now the reservoir is marriage. It's the container that keeps you covered, keeps you useful. While this flood, it's still water. This flood can displace lives, it can destroy lives, it can displace families, and then just take people off their houses. While if it's that same water is put in a reservoir, that water can be used for electricity, it can be used for various good things. It can be used for drinking, channeled into people's homes. So that's how sex is before marriage and after marriage. If you do it before marriage, it has a way of destroying you. It has a way of altering what God has already planned for your life. But if you do it after marriage, it's in a container, it's placed, and then it helps you to become better. The second thing with sex before marriage is that it opens you up to the devil. Now let's look at Numbers 23 and verse 24. The story of Balak and Balaam. Now Balak asked Balaam, Balak was the king, and then he asked Balaam to come and help him curse the children of Israel because they were prospering, and then he didn't understand why they should be prospering that much, and he felt, if I allow these people, they are going to come and prosper too much, and then they'll become a threat to me and my nation. So he called Balaam, the priest, to come and please help him curse these people. And this verse we always quote in the Bible, there's no enchantment against Jacob, there's no divination against Jacob. This is where the verse was. Now when Balaam came, they slaughtered cattle and everything and sheep, built altars just so that he can curse the children of Israel. And when he came, he looked, when he tried to curse them, blessings kept coming out of his mouth towards the children of Israel. And Balak got angry. He was like, hey, I called you to come and curse these people. I didn't call you to come and bless them, but all you've done is bless them. And then Balaam said, hey, there's nothing I can do. There is no enchantment against Jacob. There's nothing I can do about it. So he told him, try again now. So Balaam tried it 7 times. They built 7 different altars and they tried it. And all through it was blessings. But there was something that Balaam did. And that's what we see in Revelations 2 verse 14. When Jesus was telling them that he has something against them, that they teach the children, they teach the teachings of Balaam, that told Balak how to trip up the children of Israel. Now, what Balaam did was that while he was going, he said, Balak, see, let me tell you something. You see these people, their God will not curse them, but for one thing. If they just do one thing, he himself that has been blessing them will curse them himself. He will not need to do anything. And what was that? He told him, gather some of your girls and send them into the camp of these Israelites. If they can just sleep, commit sexual immorality, which is sex before marriage, with your people, and also offer themselves to idols, God himself will curse them. And that was what happened. Balak did that, and 23,000 of them died in one day. So that's what happens. It gives you up to the devil. It opens you up to temptations you might not even be able to temptations that you had no business with from the beginning. That's why you should stay away from sex before marriage. Now, the number 3 thing why you should stay away from sex before marriage is that sex before marriage is something that can make you to partake of a life that you had no business with entirely. I've heard stories of some people that said that they were sane, calm people, but then they had sex with an angry person, and suddenly anger just came into their lives. So you and there's nothing not biblical about this. If you check 1 Corinthians 6 verse 16, especially the NLT version, you see where God was saying that your bodies are his temple, but then if you carry this body and join it with a harlot, you become one with the person. So when you keep having sex with different people before marriage, because hey, if you open your sexual window very early in life, it becomes very difficult for you to stay away from sex before marriage. So, for example, you have sex at 16, and what is the probability that you're going to get married to that person at 16? If you're going to get married like 25, how many more years are you going to be in a relationship with that person? Or what is the surety that you're going to get married to the person? So let's say you have sex with that person, then you break up, you have sex with another person. You can imagine the number of things that you're picking from other people, how many people you become one with, and the number of things. You don't even know who has a generational curse that you're partaking of. You don't even know who has an untimely death. You don't just you cannot just fathom the kind of life that you will endanger yourself to by having sex before marriage, and that's why you should not do it. Now, another thing that should be my number 4 point. Another thing why you should not have sex before marriage is that it's wickedness against God. And this can be seen in Genesis 39 verse 9, where Potiphar's wife came to Joseph and she wanted to sleep with him. And Potiphar, Joseph did not just understand. He said this is wickedness against God. And if you check 1 Corinthians verse 6, verse 19 to 20, where God was saying this is our temple, we don't have ourselves. He is the one that made us, and then our temples are his dwelling place. His Holy Spirit dwells within us. So what you're trying to say is, okay, a loving Father created you, made you in his image, gave you everything that you could ever have and everything you want. And then he said, okay, the deal is just that let me stay in you. And you know, light and darkness don't have anything in common. So immediately you pick yourself and you join yourself to another person in sexual immorality, which is darkness, light leaves. So it's just like somebody gives you a house to stay. You come and then you say, okay, I don't have any place to stay. And then the person says, okay, come into my house. Let's stay together. And then you push the person out, or you wait when the person goes out and then you lock the door. And then the person cannot come into his house. That's wickedness. So it's wickedness against a loving creator. And Joseph understood this so much. He said, how can I do this wickedness and sin against God? Now, the last point is that it could create trust issues in marriage. Taking, for example, somebody, you marry a man at, maybe the guy is 35, or let's say 29, 30, and you get to marry that guy as a virgin. He has never had sex before. What in heaven's name do you think will make the guy to want to cheat on you or will want to have sex after marriage? Why? Why would he want to do that? Is it sex that he's not been able to experience, like from when he was coming up, 29 years of his life, or let's say his sexual activity, maybe 16, 17 years of his life? And you marry a girl at, let's even say 21, because these days you'll be shocked at the age where children or teenagers lose their virginity. or have sex before even anything, you'll be shocked at the age they start doing that. So let's say you get married to a girl at 21, 25 tops, and the girl is a virgin. Seriously, what else would she be looking for right now in the marriage, everything being equal, that she would cheat on you? So you don't want to put yourself in all this situation. Now, I didn't come telling you of of STDs. I didn't come telling you of pregnancy, because those are lame stuff that we found solutions to. I came telling you the things that God will want you to do. God will want you to have. God will want you to stay away from sex before marriage, so that you can be in that container and enjoy everything that He has in stock for you. My next video, I'm going to be talking of how to abstain from sex before marriage, because it gets difficult, and so let's discuss that. Thank you so much for listening. It's been Rehab Time with Jadelle.